Hey everybody, I'm very sorry about the lack of impressive videos lately. I have been hard grinding the Blood Moon event and just trying to finish my goal of getting every killer to P10. Maybe if I have, if I think about it, I'll throw the little thing up. The only killer I have left to get to Prestige 10 is Kaneki, and then I'm going to be full sending on P100ing the Hill Vecna. Yeah, that's what this video is about. I'm switching mains. So most of you guys know that I have a pretty spotty history with actually having a main killer. When I first started playing the game, my main was Ghostface. I played Ghostface and only Ghostface for the first like 40-ish hours that I had played this game, and then I ended up trying other killers because I was basically told to, and my main jumped around. It went from Ghostface to Pinhead to Doctor. No, I think it went from Ghostface to Doctor to Pinhead, something like that. And eventually, about a year and a half ago, when Overdrive Billy got put into the game, I ended up maining the Hillbilly because he was just such a great, fantastic time. He was absolutely fun as hell. His skill ceiling was very high. The chainsaw hits were very dopamine efficient and all of that. And I absolutely adored the killer, and I still do. But I kind of love Vecna a lot more. So today I wanted to talk to you guys just a little bit about Vecna. This isn't a full analysis. I promise the clown analysis is still on the way. I just have not had the energy to actually edit it, and that's, you know, on me. But I'm going to be losing my job soon, so while I'm searching for another job, I'll definitely have a lot more time, and I'll try to get that clown analysis out to you guys. But in the meantime, let's have a very quick rundown about Vecna and why I like him more than Hillbilly. And again, guys, it's not that I dislike Hillbilly. It's not like I'm throwing Hillbilly in the trash and never gonna play him again. Hillbilly is still my secondary. I still enjoy the killer. I just enjoy Vecna a lot more, and here are the reasons why. Number one, the utility. Vecna has a multifaceted kit. He's got mobility in his fly. He has anti-loop / zoning in his Flight of the Damned. He has anti-pallet with his mage hand, and he has massive amounts of information with his dispelling sphere. This is one of the most multifaceted killers ever released, and I remember when this killer first released, one of the biggest things that I loved about him was this multifaceted kit. This also leads to Vecna having an incredibly high skill floor. You can't just pick up and play Vecna, because at first you're going to be extremely confused as to what each thing actually does and how you're supposed to use it. A great example of this is Flight of the Damned. When Vecna first came out, Flight of the Damned was considered a relatively weak ability, but after playing him for a lot, what kind of a sentence was that? After playing him a lot and basically nothing but him since the Blood Moon event started, I'm actually prepared to say that Flight of the Damned is the most powerful tool in his kit. Not only does it provide zoning, but survivors are basically muscle memoried into believing that Vecna casting a spell means you should automatically crouch, meaning that sometimes you could cast like Mage Hand or Fly or even Dispelling Sphere, and they'll just crouch because they're so scared of Flight of the Damned. But on top of that, Flight of the Damned has a lot of niche usage. One of my favorites is the elevation tech. If you are on a lower elevation than the survivor, you can cast Flight of the Damned and basically guarantee a hit if they're not paying attention. If they think that they can just crouch it, they can't, because you are lower than them, and therefore the skeletons are too low to crouch. A great place to do this is the shack on Dead Dog Saloon, because it sits on a higher elevation than the actual ground. So if you're outside the shack, you can cast Flight of the Damned into the shack and hit them almost every time. But this also leads to a lot of really cool hits. On top of that, Flight of the Damned can also be used to double tap survivors. I had this one time where this Rebecca thought she was going to get out, and she didn't, because I double tapped her with Flight. It was just such a really cool and an amazing thing to do. But again, there's more to it. Fly can be used to outplay God windows, like the one on Garden of Jagovs, or it can just be used for massive map mobility if you want to play a kind of hit and run style. See, this is the thing that I'm leading up to. Vecna can be played in so many different ways. Currently, there are 3 builds that I'm running on Vecna specifically for the Blood Moon event. The first one is my Shaman build, which uses the Spell Storing Ring and the Pearl of Power add-ons, which are just his best add-ons in general. They just affect the cooldown of your spells, and they're really, really good. But the Shaman build runs Retribution, Haunted Grounds, Blood Favor, which is one of the best perks on Vecna, by the way, and Undying, which is just an amazing, fun build. It causes survivors to freak out. They spend a lot of time cleansing totems, and cleansing those totems often hurts them. Then I also run my Aura Reading build. This runs the Lantern of Revealing. Whenever survivors are narrowly missed by a Flight of the Damned, it reveals their aura, and then you run the Ornate Horn to give you even more entities in the Flight of the Damned. I run this with the Franklin's Weave combo, Lethal Pursuer, and Friends Till the End. Although sometimes if I'm feeling cheeky, I'll swap out Friends to the End for like barbecue and chili or something. But it's a really fun build. It's not very strong, but it is another way to play Vecna. And then finally, a build that I'm going to be doing a showcase on either before this video or after this video, I haven't decided yet, which is the anti-heal build. This runs the Vorpal Sword add-on so that you can break survivors with your Dispelling Sphere, and then it runs something to make the Dispelling Sphere stronger, and then you run Nurse's Calling, Leverage, Terminus, and Sloppy Butcher just to make healing an absolute almost impossibility, and it's very, very fun. And these are just 3 of the many, many, many different ways to play Vecna. Vecna has so much utility available to him that he has all these different play styles that you can lean into, and almost all of them are completely viable. Like, yeah, you can slap on 4 slowdowns with both of the Spell Storing Ring and Pearl of Power and just have this stupid, powerful, always up utility caster, but that's not very fun to me. So I just like coming up with different ideas, and that's the thing that kind of puts Vecna slightly above Hillbilly. While Hillbilly does have a few ways that you can play him, he really only has like 2 or 3, and that's fun for the most part, but I like Vecna because he has so many different play styles. Reason number 2, a lot of managing. One of my favorite things about Dead by Daylight is how much thinking goes into playing it, and Vecna is the epitome of that. Vecna requires so much, not only micromanaging, but also macro managing. You have to have both micro and macro sense on Vecna to a degree that I feel like a lot of people don't really realize at first, because it is kind of easy to just go, all right, I know how to use my spells to win a chase, and then just use your spells. But the thing is that if you use all of your spells in a chase, you might not have them for the next chase. And so it could be kind of frustrating to like use your Mage Hand and your Flight of the Damned and get your down, and then as soon as you hook, you see another survivor, you go to chase them, but all your spells are still on cooldown, so you don't have those spells available to you, and it becomes a little bit harder to outplay the loops that you're at. And so with Vecna, you have to think about these kind of things. You have to think about when to do these things, not just to get the down you're getting, but you also have to think like 3 steps ahead. Vecna requires so much brain power to utilize, and he's one of what I believe to be one of the highest skill ceiling characters in the game. There's so much that you can do with him. There's so many little techs and tips and tricks that you could do with him that making a guide on Vecna would probably be one of the biggest, longest guides ever, because there's just so much to this character. And what's more is that I feel like I learn something new every day. One of the biggest things with Vecna is understanding how to counterbalance everything that you're doing. Where do you send the Dispelling Sphere? When do you use Fly? When do you use Flight of the Damned? When do you use Mage Hand? When do you use these, and which cycle do you use them? I feel like way too many people, when they try to play Vecna, they just pick him up and start just throwing spells willy-nilly, and that's just not how you play this character, and that's why some people might seem to suffer. But overall, Vecna is just this incredibly powerful, incredibly fun, incredible think-based killer that I just absolutely love and adore from my heart's content. Number 3, probably the most petty reason I'm maining Vecna. he's from Dungeons and Dragons, and Dungeons and Dragons is my favorite thing of all time. Dungeons and Dragons is my favorite thing in the entire world. Like I'm not saying favorite game, not favorite hobby, favorite thing. If there is anything in this world that I adore more than anything else, it is Dungeons and Dragons, and that's why I main Aestri when I play Survivor. And so, of course, Vecna was probably going to be on there. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. This was just a long time coming. I played Vecna when he first came out, and I really enjoyed him. I really loved him. He was one of the most fun and interesting times I've ever had in this game, and I don't know why I ever stepped away from the character, but I started playing him on a whim when the Blood Moon event started, and I just cannot stop playing this character. And part of it is because he's Dungeons and Dragons, and I love him so much, and I've just had a great time with him. So please, guys, I look forward to more Vecna content coming to this channel, because I'm just going to be playing this character all the goddamn time. I love Vecna from the bottom of my heart. He's so fun, he's so interesting, he's so engaging, and I am actually going to be on a journey to be one of the best Vecna players in Dead by Daylight. So if you're looking to learn Vecna, if you've been looking for a Vecna main to follow, you've got it right here, because I am not leaving this character anytime soon. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed all my reasons for maining Vecna. I hope some of these inspired you to maybe pick up Vecna yourself. And as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. And yes, I do still love the Hillbilly.